Hi viewers, this is Kumar. You are watching Kumar's Academy. Today I am going to teach you the poem called The Own Children. It is written by Khalil Gibran. So before knowing the own children, I want to tell you about the theme of the poem, the summary. The poem talks about children and the relationship of their parents. In this poem, children have their own identity. The father and mother and the parents who always emphasize, they imposes their authority, rule and regulation on the children. They say that the children has to be like them. But they have forgotten that even children has their own identity, individuality. They cannot be like parents, but they are very different. They are example of the continuity. Now the parents are the past. They are already grown up trees, but children, they are growing plant. They have so much future that laid before them. So they are the continued product of their own career. They are the example of continuity. Parents are just a source. He says that the poet Khalil Gibran expresses that the parents are just a source. They will bring the children to this world. Through them, the children will come. And they cannot possess that possessiveness. The human beings are the product of this creation, this nature, this universe. So, the nature itself cannot control us. But how? The parents, they are just a bridge which has made a way to come their children from them. So they can be just as a guide to their children. They can show, they can tell them that what is bad, what is good. And they can show them the way as it is far or as it is short, but they cannot force them, they cannot take them that they have to do what their parents really dreamt about. Children are biological means. There is only the relation between the parent and children, that is the biological relationship. They have brought them to this world, that only, but they cannot suppress their thoughts. The thoughts are very different. The children cannot be like a parents, as a father, as a mother, because what they think, that is different. What they think, that is totally different. So there is a individual difference between them. In this poem, the poet expresses, and he has given metaphorical reference, parents as a bows, children as a arrows, and God as a archer. The archer who sends arrows, bending the bows with his might, and he is the only who can push the children to reach their goal, the future. This is a law of creation, that God allows both bow and arrow. But bow and arrow should be complement each other, because this is a life's journey. So that's why the poet expresses that there is nothing that you can possess, because everything has its own way. There is a lot of difference of a thought, of their career, of their future, the children that they think. But the parents, they cannot make them as they are. So this is the expression that the poet gives in this poem. Now viewers, we can know about Khalil Gibran. Khalil Gibran, who was born in 1883 and died in 1931. He is a Lebanese American artist and a great poet. His poems are considered poetic essays because they are written in a poem, but they give you a story, but they are like a prose, as they do not adhere to the unusual versification. You cannot find them, you cannot treat them as the poems. He is a most important and a great work is the prophet. Is a best known work and has been translated into more than 100 languages till now, including Kannada. It is On Children is a selection from the prophet. The prophet is such a work that you can find any kind of the thoughts there. He has produced the thoughts on marriage, he has produced the thoughts on joy, sorrow, and everything, and even on children, which offers a critique of the usual expectation of parents. Through this poem, we can find there should not be expectation from the parents, because parents are different and children are different. So that it is regarding their children and urges them to introspect. The poet Khalil Gibran is suggesting the parents that they have to introspect when they are so possessive about their children. So that it is about. Let's see glossary of the poem. Some new words. The house means shelter or protect. Tarry means linger, stay at one place or a stop. Archer, one who uses bow and arrow. Here its real meaning is God. The archer means God. Viewers, let's recite this poem. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, speak to us of children. So this is, I will tell you later why this poem was written and what is the importance of this poem. So the real poem starts from this line. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dream. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as a living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Before explaining this story, I will tell you about why this poem was written. So there was a prophet whom we call Al-Mustafa, his real name, lived in the city of Orpheus for 12 years. Now he is going to his homeland, native. So that's why he is about to board ship. So on the same time, he was stopped by a group of people with whom he discusses topics on marriage, on children, on joy, on sorrow, etc. But one of a woman who had a babe against her bosom means the stomach, or you can call, or she has held the baby and she brings and speak to us of children. She asked him, she requests him that now speak us on children. So then he gets start to tell. The first line he uses, your children are not your children. They are not your children whom you are talking now. They are sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They are the sons and daughters of not yours. The life that really wants them, not you. The real life which is in a need of them. So that's why they are born. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. You are only the way that you will bring the bodies, the children to this world. But not from, they don't come from you, because they are not a part of your body. They only come through your body. So that's why the children whom you are mentioning, they are not your children. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. Now they are with you, but they don't belong you. So they are spending the time. You are possessing, you are forcing them, and you are controlling them all by all means. But they are just living with you. Yet they belong not to you. You cannot think that they belongs to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. You may love them. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, because the thoughts are very different. What you think, don't expect that they are thinking the same, because what they think, that is different. What you are thinking, that is different. So you can love them, but not force them by your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You know that. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. Only you have brought them to this world through your body, your stomach, and that was just a place to keep the house to them in your stomach bosom. But really, you cannot control their souls. You cannot keep their souls, because soul that flies, the soul that represents the Spirit of God. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. When you control their bodies, that is controllable, but not their souls, because their soul, where their souls is, the souls dwells, stays in the house of tomorrow, future, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You cannot visit their souls where it is living. It is actually living in the future. So you cannot even imagine that you can reach in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. You can strive, you can act, just be like your children, but seek not to make them like you. But you cannot force, you cannot drag them towards your thoughts, your force, that they are free from you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You know that the parents are already, you have left your half of the life, that already you have become a past. Your children, they are just like a plant, the growing plant. They are like a future. So you cannot drag them to your past. Let them to go to their future, because they cannot stop with yesterday in the past. They are looking forward. They are looking, their career, their life lays ahead in future. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. You are just like, here the poet compares them, the parents as the bows, the children as arrows. You are the bows. If you want to send the children to their goals, to their future, just you can help them, but you cannot drag, you cannot stop them. If you stop them, so they will fall here near somewhere without reaching their future. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer, definitely there is an archer, the God, who knows to whom is a sent where. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite. He already chosen the path, the way. It is infinite. It's a very powerful way. It's a great way he already had chosen. And he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. So now he bends you. He has made you as a just helper to your children. He bend you with his might, means the power, the strength, that is arrows may go swift and far. So definitely when you bend yourself, when you send your children forward, they will go very swift and they will go far and they will reach their goal, future. So they will be happy. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. So now give your life. Parents, you give your life. Be very happy. Whatever your children are doing, you have to be happy of their happiness, of their chosen of career, of their future. Let them to go and let your life give in the hands of archer God. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Now, the God who loves both, he loves the arrow as well as he loves the bow, because the bow and arrows has to live supplementary or complementary to each other, because it's a life's journey. There should be a need of both, but nobody should control each other of their thoughts, of their future, because the future lies in the hands of your children itself, not by you. So now I will conclude this. So viewers, if you like my video, please subscribe it, share it and like it. Thank you.